Hey guys, first regardsman here, and so I'll be talking about a max damage heavy bolter build for Space Marine 2 patch 13. Now, in patch 13, they upped all the base damage for body shots on all the bolter weapons in the entire game, including the heavy bolter, so for that reason, this weapon feels way better this patch, on top of the fact that way back in patch 11 or patch 10, they did buff up the max firepower version to have way better base damage as well, and really since then, this one's been kind of underrated. The firepower variant of the heavy bolter is actually pretty strong, and we will be using that today. Now, for the perk tree on this, we do start off with the perk fast venting, moving here into the perk perfect cooling. Then we grab the perk here increase capacity down here to headhunter for 10% more headshot damage. Then we pick up the perk heavy immunity. While in heavy stance, you do not lose control of heavy hits. Since we do not have the strategic stand perk on this build, we definitely want to have the no knockback active from this perk here, because this will just make you able to actually, get off your full damage potential here. And next perk here is admin restoration. When your health is below 30%, your ammo reserve is restored by 25% of the maximum capacity. Cannot exceed maximum ammo capacity. The cooldown is 30 seconds. Now you may be saying, hey, Mr. FTG, I thought we were going for full damage here. Why did you not take the perk down here, admin hunter? Well, the thing is, if you go down here, you're going to be skipping over at least one perk like heavy immunity or a damage perk down here, and these perks are way more valuable for getting your damage off in the first place. And also, being below 30% HP with the perk active here, thermal boost, and no HP increases is actually a pretty dangerous thing on the heavy, so for that reason I do prefer admin restoration instead. Next perk here is Heavy Might, up here into the perk Heavy Might again for a 30% damage buff in heavy stance. Then we grab the perk here, Discipline. When you have low ammo, you deal 25% more damage. This perk will trigger on a certain percentage of your ammunition left. Very powerful perk effect. A 25% damage buff here is incredibly noticeable. Definitely pick this up. And the final perks here are Fast Venting down here to the perk Perpetual Cooling, and of course Divine Might for another 10% damage buff, and that's all there is for the Heavy Bolter. Now for the secondary, the greatest benefit of the Heroic Plasma Pistol I'm taking today is that you get a ton of damage nuking potential, on top of the fact that your Heavy Bolter is actually pretty good for contested health recovery. You don't have to worry about the charge up time of this that much at all. Now for the perk tree, we just go for mostly damage and ammunition, starting off with Plasma Collection, moving here to the perk Rapid Cooling, Plasma Collection again, Blast Radius, Perpetual Velocity for a 20% faster shot charge speed, going down to Plasma Collection again into Blast Radius once again, and the final perks are Retaliation for a 25% damage buff for 10 seconds on a perfect dodge, and Divine Might for another 10% buff, and that's all there is for the Heroic Plasma. Now for the heavy perk tree, I do start off with the perk Restoration first, killing 7 enemies and rapid session restores an armor segment. The cooldown is 15 seconds. Now on this build, since we don't have Fortitude or Strategic Stand, we're actually pretty squishy by comparison to these options, which means the armor restore from this will help us out a ton in damage reduction, so definitely grab this option. Next perk here is Thermal Boost. When a ranged weapon is 50% overheated, or you have less than 50% ammo in magazine, range damage increases by 15%. So the overheat option here is not that strong, to be honest. The main way you trigger this, in my experience, is the 50% ammo in magazine, and the way this one actually functions on a heavy bolter is that if your total ammunition reaches 50% or below, you will trigger this perk effect the entire time, which is pretty nice. And also, the way your ammunition is restored to you on the heavy class is via drip fed options, like your admin restoration perk here, or magazine restoration on other options, and also stuff like the auxiliary reload perk, which means staying around half of your total ammo is actually pretty easy on this weapon, so for that reason thermal boost is pretty strong. Next perk here is Overwhelming Power. When Iron Halo is active, all team members within 10 meters deal 10% more range damage. This is just another range damage buff, but there's actually a hidden interaction here as well, that your Iron Halo will count as in cooldown while it is active, so you will get the 10% buff from this simultaneously with the 15% range damage buff from Brute Force, which is pretty nice, on top of Thermal Boost, which is a very powerful option to up your total damage output. And next perk here is Additional Supplies. Ammo capacity for all team members' primary weapons increases by 25%. The bolter is not that ammo inefficient, but having this perk, it does help out a bit, though if you do want to pick up Encompassing Aegis or even Bonds of Brotherhood for whatever reason, you can definitely do that. The next perk here is Consecutive Execution, killing 7 enemies, wraps a session, restores equipment charge by 1. The cooldown is 90 seconds. And this helps out with Horde Clear a ton. Shock nades, cracks, and especially Melta Bombs will really change the course of your game and save you a ton of HP and ammunition, so definitely grab this. Next perk here is a Power Regulator. Iron Hail loses energy 20% more slowly. Moving here to the perk Brute Force for a 15% range damage buff while Iron Halo is in cooldown, which is up pretty much all the time in this game. And the final perk is Offensive Capability. When active, Iron Halo deals damage over time to all enemies within 5 meters, because this perk will wipe out Bramble, wipe out Cultists, Spore Mines. They'll just give you free damage against enemies like Terminus, Extremis, and especially Majoris, so a really powerful option. Definitely grab this. And for the Prestige perk tree, it's pretty standard. I just take Reverberating Impact first, into Auxiliary Reload for more ammo restore, Conviction for that 25% health damage reduction for 10 seconds on Armor Break, because on this build, you definitely want this perk. And to be honest, you want to pick up this perk all the time because it is one of the strongest damage reduction perks in the entire game anyways, and a 25% health damage reduction is incredibly potent in Space Marine 2. Final perk options are Indomitable Spirit for that no knockback on Gunstrike, and you can really pick whatever you want as the final one, but we just took Reverberating Impact today. And that's pretty much all there is for this build, guys. The Heavy Bolter is kind of addicting in the game right now. Like, I've always been a big fan of this weapon, but these days it feels way better because of that body shot damage buff, and hopefully this build guide helped you. If you like content like this, subscribe for more, and if you want to catch me live to ask me questions about the game or just come hang out, you can find me here on YouTube or on Twitch with a link in the video description, and also a link to my community Discord. And I also want to say a special thank you to all my channel members. Your support makes a huge difference, and I really appreciate you guys. And as always, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Bye.
Eliminates the Neurothroat menace. The ground rumbles no more.
So that'd be bold for you to do this. Ravener is always such a rude enemy in that one spot.
Loathsome horror is destroyed.
Yeah, people hate on lictors all the time. Raveners are the ones that really frame trap you in this game. They will do some diabolical shit to you. But when you have a Ravener popping out and you're just like, you're in a Neurothrope wave, your only option is really like, just go to the wave, because to not go to the wave is to perish horribly. Now we're back to full ammo. Look at that. See, it was all strategic. We took the one hit there, which dropped us below 30% HP, which gave us our ammo back, and now we killed this guy and we're at full ammo again. Their stock jump feels random sometimes. I mean, it's more so the triple Ravener hit combo is diabolical in locking you down. So if there's anything else going on in the field, like, you know, an AoE wave below your feet, you really don't have a huge reaction to that. Like, you can perfect dodge them to do a gun strike. You can either block both or use an Argent Edge. But that is what kills you, and that's what killed us last time. Heavy Flamer is all I use in the heavy, and my heavy is an Imperial Fist. Heavy Flamer on Imperial Fist, an interesting choice. Definitely an interesting choice. I feel like most people fall into two camps. Like, you either love the heavy or you hate him. I rarely see any mixed opinions on this guy in terms of like, so like, oh, he's kind of okay. I see mixed opinions all the time. What I mean is, I don't really see like, you know, middle ground opinions on him. They're like, oh, I kind of like him. He's okay. Let's see, this is heroic bolt. No, this is a max firepower bolter, and then we're also using the thermal boost perk, which is why we're kind of squishy here by comparison to a lot of builds on heavy. W branch. Yeah.
Abomination. I still feel its foul touch.
I hate that lunge attack. I mean, Raveners are designed to catch you out. That's their whole job. So they're doing their job well.
My war gear is satisfied.
I love him on my team, but he's too awkward. What's your thoughts on the stop radius and increased melee damage? I find it helps clear enemies when you're out of low ammo in some cases, especially when carrying the Vulcan Obelisk. I mean, there was a time where Heavy had the most melee buffs of any class in the entire game. Because this class actually had 5 melee perks in Prestige Firstry in April of last year on the PTS. But they got rid of them because people were like, what the fuck? Why would we want a melee Heavy?
The foul creature is no more. Carnifex! The hive mind sends us a revolting chapter. The zoanthrope has fallen to be trampled underfoot. Even their champions stand no chance.
Oh, cool, dude. Yeah, let's keep that attitude up. Oh yeah, let's give me the hive mind roar. Thank you, thank you. Alright, now it's about to go enraged. You don't like that.
Stardust kill.
You still do a lot in the body here. Okay, that's what hit me. Not really good for that.
Iron Halo ready.
No, we're gonna do it this way. Okay. Why did it turn my melee all the way like 180 degrees around, or my Iron Halo definitely wanted to be facing whatever, dude. Very cool. I must have hit the wrong directional. Whatever.
This sector is cleansed of
Just a bajillion range enemies now.
the Xenos infestation. My shield is charged. Purge the alien scourge. Consider it safe. Exterminate the swarm beasts. That pitiful Xenos is but an abhorrent blight.
Can your builds be used as legendary weapons of the heroics? Yeah, so Space Marine 2 builds aren't too complicated. You can usually just swap whatever weapon you want for like a build setup. 90% of the perk trees will work with like any melee weapon and stuff like that. There's very little in this game that's like super perk specific where it's like, oh, you dare to use a bolt sniper with that? How could you?
online. Armored in zeal. They sense their strongest. Only to see
Man, dude, offensive protocol working overtime here to stop this rambling. Or counter-offensive, whichever one it's called, the signature perk. That for some reason I can't remember right now. We're just gonna roll through. We don't care. We can take it. We're tough. So now we have Discipline active with Thermal Boost. So we have like a 40% damage bonus going at the moment, just in base, and that's before. That's not including the 15% bonus from Brute Force. So you're going up to like absurd values on this build when you're at low ammo. And also just the way that the heavy's ammo regen works, you'll get back ammunition on a drip feed, which means when you're at that low HP value, when you're at that threshold, it's really not hard for you to get like a little bit of ammunition back without taking yourself over the 50% to remove your thermal boost, which is pretty cool. We like that. Look at this. Look how much damage we do. Hold on. You guys fucked. Is it? This dude. What bolt I'm running is a firepower relic tier. Where are they going to allow us to select our nades and loadouts? They've talked about that a little bit. I think the only one that'd be excluded from that is the Melt-A-Bomb, because Melt-A-Bombs are OP and everybody knows it. They're also not particularly hard to find in the game already.
My shield is charged.
Cracked nades, I might actually take that.
Prepare yourselves.
That's pretty useful, just removing some of the more annoying extremists.
The reclamation machines are inactive. Awakening this system moves us closer to slaughtering the Tyranids. Search out the consoles.
Protect the relic down here real quick. This is a very obvious bramble spot to go to later. Oh, there we go. You know, I hope they do give us like proper equipment loadouts at some point here. That'd be nice.
With bolts and flames shall we smite them. The enemy summons support. Even their champions stand no chance. The fortress remains sealed. We have to activate these consoles.
Okay, guy. Okay, cool.
Burst the alien scourge. I grant you destruction. Ravener underfoot. This Ravener has despoiled its last swathe of land. The fortress remains sealed. We have to activate these consoles. That pitiful Xenos was but an abhorrent blight. Vessel detected.
Is it better to shoot the plasma charge at the ground instead of the enemy? Is it the same splash radius? I mean, sometimes I find it double hits when you actually... This is a weird interaction with the heavy plasma especially, is that like shooting the ground can be easier, and like then you don't ever risk having the shot miss and like or fly over an enemy as well. Depends though. Well, not like too important.
My war gear is satisfied.
The fortress remains sealed. We have to activate these consoles.
I want a lore accurate stories in the next game. One thing about Phase 3 is how they portray stories. These sluggish and slow moving juggernauts, but they're supposed to be really fast. I mean, they are pretty fast in this game, but like presenting them as stupidly fast. They're fast sprinters and like in attacks as well. But also just look goofy as fuck in the game to have them attack like that. Also, I'd say the way that also depends on like what interpretation of Astartes you're looking at. Because not even the animation shows them like that in a lot of cases. I mean, even the Astartes overhaul shows them pretty fast, but not Astartes overhaul, Astartes animation. It's not like that ridiculous. Not as ridiculous as some of the books have them anyways. In the books, dude, Astartes go crazy in the books.
Conversion field operation.
Nodes ready for console operation. Connection to core controls established. Ready on design. System restoration complete. Ground control research.
We can go. Open the door. We have accessed the fortress, Captain. Good.
I'm gonna keep
Head up to the
tracks, but
cannons and remind the Xenos of whom they dare to attack.
yeah, Talos goes like 8 kilometers per hour in the Night Lord's book. Yeah, you don't really see that represented that much in like any media for them outside of the books. You kind of, I mean, the sprinting speeds are pretty easy to showcase. The issue is we're seeing Space Marines fight from their own perspective. We were watching Star Trek Guards' perspective, you'd probably be a bit different. It's also the fact that it's a video game, you know? And like, you don't want to give the viewer like some like, oh, look how fast they're moving, guys. So like, you really can't even notice what's going on. Oh, like Ninja Gaiden, for example. That'd be the way I'd put it. The game for gamer dads, dude. Gamer dads would have their head spin. They'd be like, well, I'm 5 beers deep. I cannot handle what's going on my screen right now.
They send their strongest, only to see them falter. A revitalizing weapon of ancient days. Exterminate the swarm beasts. Another alien form.
Have a good stream, FTG. Thank you, Big Pap. It's true, though. We can assume everything in this game is moving at a faster thing like a regular human could see. I mean, that's true. But yeah, it'd be kind of ridiculous now that I think about it. Space Marines would be as fast as Ryo Hayabusa, and Ninja Gaiden. Yeah, that's what it would look like. It's like, or Sekiro, you know? Those work for those games. Like, those games also cater to very different audiences. I don't know how that would translate to a horde shooter.
Iron Halo online.
Heavy Sigismund spec. Dude, the Sigismund Reddit meltdown has got to be the funniest shit ever. If anybody has an archived post of that, please send it to me. Please post it in my Discord and send it to me, because I want to see it. I want to read it. I lost it, dude. The moderators of that subreddit removed it, which is very sad. Because that was the greatest crash out in Space Marine 2's history, possibly. Quite possibly. We are all Sigismund. Yeah, they also removed that post. Please just at me with an archive of it.
Tyranids seem to know you are close. They are amassing at the fortress. Then that is where they will die. Eyes on the Hierophant. It will fall to the Emperor's might. To the cannons!
I've run to probably about 10 Sigismunds in game since it happened. Yep. You wish classes had capes? Same.
Intercepting projectile.
Wait, I'm wearing one right now though, so I guess some classes do have capes. Yeah, more classes would be nice.
That pitiful Xenos was but an abhorrent blight.
Imperial Fist Sigismund or Black Templar Sigismund? Well, given how the guy who made that post was acting, definitely Black Templar. I would not expect such behavior from an Imperial Fist fan. Black Templar, though, that checks out.
The Xenos infestation is dead for now.
You are near the last cannons. You will need to find the manual controls to operate them. Console located.
Defensive cannons active.
What was the crash out, dude? I've only heard bits and pieces because the entire post got deleted. But, apparently somebody went on and called themselves, like, I don't know what they call themselves, like the best player ever, or like that, the truly hardcore Space Marine 2 should all have a, should have a separate difficulty for them.
From the Tyranid's biological waste. Solid hit.
I'm not gonna lie, he says solid hit, it didn't look very solid.
The Hierophant means its weapons are loose. That hurt it.
Oh, another relic right there? Wow, how convenient. How blessed we are today. Now, the only downside of the Heroic Plasma Pistol on this mission is when you have the firing thing.
Even their champ, my shield is charged.
Come on, guys.
Urge the Seventh Stroke. In a hail, our foes push to overwhelm us. Stop them. Your tricks could not best us, Witchbeast.
Activate the generators. Recharge the last cannons.
Another alien falls to the Imperium's teeth blade.
What a conveniently placed barrel just for me.
Feed the cannons with the energy from the generators.
Apparently some guy thought he was so good at the game, he was basically Sigismund or something. Listen, there are multiple layers to this, okay.
Engaged. Cannons are ready.
Fortress control has been disrupted.
The Hierophant means its weapons are loose.
Iron Halo unlocked.
A true Sigismund fan is a self-hater. True.
It expels its pollution.
Not the Sigismund again. I mean, dude, the Sigismund controversy is the greatest controversy since the voice pack DLC controversy.
Solid hit. The Hierophant aims its weapons at us.
Ready.
Stay clear of its foul weapon. That hurt it. It is death. It expels its... The cannons require energy from the generators.
Oh god. Oh, well, you think it's that bad? I mean, I don't think it's as bad as the voice pack DLC controversy, but it's definitely like the biggest controversy in the game since then. There, the Cape grind. It's definitely the one I've heard the most about. Black Templar fans are just LARPers, bro. True. Goddamn Black Templars and actually having good drip. Voice pack DLC was bad. That was like the only actual controversy this game's ever had. There are a lot of people that have talked about the game being shit and like having a bunch of problems with it, but like it's always been like a super vocal minority. That was the one where the entire community was like, okay, this is bad, we don't like this. Please fix. Black Templar slander will not be tolerated, dude. Artemy, you've been in this chat for 2 years. You know, you've been tolerating it for quite a while, I'd say. Wait till I pull out the Salamander slander. That's awkward.
Even their champions stand shocked. Endless southerly.
It expels its pollution. Do not become defiled by the tyranids. SHREDS. Establish target with a side round to initiate offensive protocol.
Shit, no, go over there.
The Hierophant aims its weapons at us.
Carry me, plans and pistols.
Steer clear of its foul projectiles.
This should kill him because we have all the buffs going. Yeah.
Weapons ready. Awaiting target. Aim and fire with a sidearm to commence.
This drops like a bunch of snipers on me at the very end.
Iron Halo online.
Bang. There we go. It was a lot of damage.
Turning our attention to the towers.
My 9-year-old nephew said he's better at this game. Very well could be.
Towers and
Dude, some kids are cracked at games. Hello, what's up, Innis Hero?